For the first time in 46 years, the best of the best in the Sports Car Club of America return to the West Coast for the club's annual one-race battle for the title of champion in 27 classes. This year's three-day duel for the medals brings over 400 racers to California's Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca on the stunning Monterey Peninsula. It's time to seriously step up at the 2014 and 51st SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Back downstairs to Hayward as the P1 cars roll out.
Prototype 1 taking to the course. These are the fastest cars in SCCA Club Racing. Lightweight, high downforce. These are making a couple of hundred horsepower. The secret here is the tunnels under the car, literally sucking the car down to the track. To give you an idea of the potential of these vehicles, qualifying times were on par with what the World Superbikes ran here a couple of years ago for pole. They're running 8 seconds a lap faster than the fastest production car ever to run here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. That was a Porsche 918 Spyder, and our trivia question to the booth was who was driving that car when it set the record?
Ah!
Let's see, Rick, who might that have been in that?
Was that you, perhaps?
That was Randy. I got a chance to drive a 918 here, and as amazing as that car was, 8 seconds is all day, people.
Oh, yeah.
When you build a weapon for the job, it makes all the difference in the world. For one, there's no air conditioning.
And that's a problem for most of us, certainly for me. If there's no air conditioning, I'm not getting in.
That's right.
When you think about that just for a second, 8 seconds, all kidding aside. A pro stock in the NHRA will cover the quarter mile in 6 seconds. So that is more than a pro stock pass in drag race.
A lot of things
8
can happen in 8
seconds,
seconds.
as you say, that is a lifetime in
Out
road course racing.
of a minute and 20.
Yeah.
It's a huge percentage. These cars are super fast, really enjoyable to drive, and they're an interesting technological marvel.
Oh,
really.
yeah, absolutely.
They have carbon fiber bodies. The speeds of Kirk Kinsfater that I was looking at, really cool looking car. It's bare fiberglass. He's sitting in fourth. We'll have to hope that he has a nice run there. And then that second place car, the Normal, look how big that looks, the white car. I know that car well from running at Thunderhill 25 Hour with the Davidson Racing team and that. And it's a cool car, and it's a really different approach to this race compared to the rest of these.
Yeah, definitely. You've got a couple of different versions of these cars. And again, CSR and DSR from years past combined here in Prototype 1. So we'll see how this one shakes out. 12 cars, but they will fly around this 2.25 mile, 11-turn layout at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Randy, yesterday I was here, you and I were talking before we came on the air today about what a gorgeous week it's been, gorgeous day here yesterday. I think today's even nicer, which is hard to imagine.
It's in the 60s.
Yeah.
It is not hot anymore, but it was during the week. Now look at this grid, all the different wing forms. Some really low ones and some much higher. And the speeds I was looking at actually had a double element wing.
So a couple of different approaches to being fast in P1. Safety cars in, the Mazda 6 with the safety lights. The lights have been turned away, and the car is headed onto pit road. So here comes your field of 12 out of the final corner here, getting set to go green. Glad to have you with us. Coverage of the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs from Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Farrell on the pole in the 58. That's the black machine alongside the 23 of Jim Davenport. Green flag about to go in the air, and we will have a train wreck. Well, we'll have a jailbreak heading toward turn. Almost on a train wreck. A jailbreak heading toward turn 1. They go too wide. You never know.
You never know. Here we go. Not only do they go fast, they stop fast. Little tire lock up, everybody down into one. Davenport in the Norma hangs on to second place.
Farrell is your leader.
Out in the lead.
And a battle for third.
Turn 3.
They don't slow down much. I think they don't lift or not much for turn 4 right here. They're really making that downforce in a 100-mile-an-hour sweeper.
Lee Alexander in third spot, the favorite according to Sports Car Magazine, winner of C Sports Racing a year ago at the Runoffs, held then at Road America. There's Davenport in the 48.
Oh, look at Farrell. He's got 2 seconds already.
Pulling away. Chris Farrell from Salt Lake City and that C&M Manufacturing Store Suzuki. Out-qualified the field on the first qualifying session, ran a 1:22.9, 2.5 tenths quicker than his best time. And He was about half a second quicker than the outside pole sitter, and he's showing that early speed.
I'll tell you, it's looking like more than that right now.
Yeah.
It's funny, they sound like super bikes when they go by, for good reason.
Sure.
Same engine. Motorcycle engine transmissions are ideal because they're so light and compact. They make a great package for a race car, but it's a little tricky because you got to translate that chain drive into the two rear wheels.
Yeah.
They actually chain drive a differential. It's pretty funky arrangement.
It is a very unusual bit of technology if you've ever had the opportunity to look inside one of these sports racing machines. Battle here for second. Davenport in the white 23 trying to hold on to the position there. That's Alexander in the black and blue 48. Kind of a petty blue paint scheme on that car. Right behind Alexander, Kirk Kinsfader. You talked about him earlier. And then
running good so far.
Gianpaolo Ciancimino from Florida, the 99 car. So a good battle for second here in P1.
The Resurrection car running good also so far. So it looks like both of those cars, the crew's done a great job thus far. They're on the pace. I think that Norma is holding up the back of the field right now, or the rest of the field. Looks like those guys are stacked up behind him, looking for a way by Davenport.
And all kidding aside, that is physically a much bigger race car. I mean, you've got to be able to see around that car and see where you want to go is a challenge.
Yeah, look, he's peeking. He wants to get through there. Alexander does, and Farrell's getting away. I wonder if it takes a while for that Norma to come in, or just what
Possibly.
it is, because his qualifying time was really competitive. But Chris Farrell is just marching away.
Anytime you're by yourself and you can look in the mirror and see a couple of cars fighting for position behind you, that's a license to steal. You're playing with house money as a driver there.
It's an advantage for sure. Look how far out he is, 1,000, 2,000, 3 or 4 seconds, I'd say.
Yeah, last time by, the gap had started to grow a little bit. Davenport now 4.2 seconds back in second spot behind the race leader. That's Davenport in the white machine, the Norma.
Yeah, 2 laps. Farrell's just gone. But it is a battle for second.
It is, but I think you're right. It looks to me as though Davenport is certainly holding up third, fourth, and fifth here, although they're nose to tail right at the moment.
Yeah.
Alexander in that store, and now the Speeds machine, Kinsfader in fourth position. That's a different chassis, a little different take on sports racing.
A little wiggle in the brake zone, and these cars are extremely sophisticated. They have rocker arm style suspension. Kinsfader showed me he has carbon fiber springs that are adjusted by changing discs for lightweight. It's very sophisticated, although they are still tubular chassis.
So engineering in this category is a big part of what goes on.
Oh, very much. And in the setup, just critical. I look at the bell cranks that rock the springs, and the springs are mounted horizontally, and
that's IndyCar type technology.
Yes, it is. It's so complex, it'd be difficult to set up without an engineering degree.
Davenport in second there in the white machine. There's the 48 of Alexander. He runs third. All of this battling allowing your pole sitter Farrell to continue to pull away as we put 4 laps on the board.
That's amazing, his advantage out there at just drawing away. It reminds me a little bit of what we saw in the MG Midget in the earlier F production race.
Yeah.
Because the qualifying times were close, but then the race, wow.
Yeah. Top 3 continue to be Farrell in the 58, Davenport in the 23, Alexander in the 48, Ciancimino in the 99. That's the car that burned to the ground earlier this week. They had to extensively rebuild and then clean the car.
Half a lap
has moved
ago,
up to fourth.
He got all kind of sideways half a lap ago.
Yeah, he did. But he has continued to run nicely there, continued to make hay. And he's given up a little bit of ground to second and third, but not a lot.
Saw a little something coming out of Kinsfader's car there as he headed up the hill towards 6. Maybe it was just dust from something else. I didn't see it coming out of the turn 6 and into the corkscrew.
These cars must be a blast to drive through the twisties here.
Yeah, 900 pounds. They don't weigh anything. It's probably like wearing a glove. But I'll tell you something else about a race car like this. If they're not right, they can be really wrong. It's another little wiggle there for Kinsfader coming out of 9.
And there's the black 99 of Ciancimino that we've been talking about here.
Ciancimino.
Yeah, right there, fourth position.
Oh, okay. He's moved up.
Has battled back after the moment and continues to run in fourth.
Okay. Thank you, Rick. I had the wrong guy.
Started fifth, has picked up 1 position. Kinsfader in the 32 has fallen back to 5th, so Ciancimino got by him.
Looked like somebody pulling off there on the entry to turn 2.
Could be a problem for one of the cars further back in the field.
Or maybe he just locked the
There's
wheel.
Ciancimino in the 99.
There he goes, 4th place.
Davenport continuing to run 3rd in the white car, the Norma. There's Ciancimino there, your 4th place runner.
He's leaving a lot of room on the exit. I think he's being a little bit careful with that car. Something in the setup's a little tricky. Yeah, he's driving it carefully, going fast. Good job. But look at all the room on the exit there. He's not tracking it out to the edge.
Not using all the road by any means.
I think it's a tricky setup, a little dicey.
Race leader, meantime, Chris Farrell, continues to pull away after out qualifying the field by a couple of tenths. Putting on a clinic.
Yeah, now he's got a couple seconds on him. What has that lead gotten to?
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Last time by for the 58 car out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
That is impressive. He's come out here to the Monterey Peninsula, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, and just really waxing this field at the moment. We got to make sure that the 12,000 RPM engine hangs in there. They use the motorcycle gearbox too, so it's a close ratio 6-speed that they can shift sequentially. Some of the teams run paddle shifters, so the driver just nips a button with a finger behind the wheel there.
Saw Christopher Ashe in the 67. He just moved up a spot into 5th.
Late move
Jeff
there.
Letterman also moving up. Kirk Kinsfader falling back. Kinsfader last time by being scored in 7th, Randy Pope, so he's got problems.
Too bad.
The 99 of Gianpaolo Ciancimino continues to run in 4th position. 5th behind him is the 97. I'm sorry, the 67 car. That's Christopher Ashe. And then Jeff Letterman in the 55 is next in line in 6th position. So this is 4th, 5th, and 6th nose to tail with 5 laps complete here in your P1 feature Friday at the SCCA Runoffs.
Into 2 there, Letterman took a late move at Ashe and kind of stick it under him. Late move. Didn't quite work. It was close.
Oh, trouble. Car is off.
Oh,
and
that
Kirk
new motor didn't
Kinsfader.
work.
Looks like there is smoke showing under the bodywork in there. That does appear to be an engine issue and a big time
I hope not.
issue.
We'll see. That's not a good situation. I feel bad for him because he lost another engine earlier in the week.
Does look like a disaster. And we see safety truck out on the course.
That could be a fire.
Full course yellow.
Because the bike motors sometimes when they lose
when you wind
them
that tight at 14,000 RPM, something goes wrong. It's going to be a big issue, not a small issue.
They're cranked up. They're making a lot more power than the street car does. Typically they blow up and the oil comes right out on the exhaust system, and you get an oil fire. Hopefully they can get that out before it goes too far, but that might be what got our friend Ciancimino there earlier in the week.
Kinsfader pulling off at the end of the front straightaway, at the entrance rather of turn 2. So the caution is out. This will bunch the field up behind race leader Chris Farrell from Salt Lake City, Utah. The 58 car, safety car is out. This will allow Jim Davenport, Lee Alexander, Gianpaolo Ciancimino all an opportunity to catch back up for the single file restart. Remember, we're 40 minutes timed, 20 laps on the board.
Every one of those cars carries a Safe Racer sticker too. SafeRacer.com, supplier of safety equipment. And they're a big supporter of national racing. Definitely the place to go to get your safety equipment. And we appreciate their support of SCCA National Racing right on up through the runoffs, but every race across the country.
Absolutely the case. Now coming up after the conclusion of P1 here today, Randy and I will stick with you. Got a combined event coming your way. Touring 3 and STU will run together, 2 separate races, but in one time frame.
That'll be fun, 2 for 1.
Absolutely. We'll have 2 safety cars, 2 pace cars, and 2 groups of cars on the racetrack at the same time. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. That is still to come to close out day 1 here at the 2014 SCCA Runoffs, the National Championships of Amateur Racing. All right. At Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, safety car out for the apparent engine failure on the part of Kirk Kinsfader's machine. As we clean things up and get lined up for the restart, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back with plenty more coverage of the 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs. We'll return right after this.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
Machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits of North America. No pit stops, no quarter. The world watches and knows this is how racing should be.
Back with you at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. He's Randy Popes. I'm Rick Benjamin. Hayward Daniels down on pit road, just earning his keep today by running all over the place. Been a lot of fun to be here on day one of these SCCA runoffs, and we will be here tomorrow and Sunday as well, my friend. We will have a lot of action to cover.
Hey, Rick, I love that Tire Rack commercial with the autocrosser who's a dentist.
Yeah.
I have 3 dentist friends that are autocrossers. There's a connection there. They're not just making that up.
I don't want to know what the connection might be, frankly.
Oh, it's cars.
It's
cars and speed.
Cars,
like
what connects
here
us
at the
all.
SCCA runoffs.
Cars and speed, what connects us all, no question about it. Hayward Wagner, our pit road reporter today, running up and down, keeping track of everything going on in the paddock and on pit road. We appreciate his hard work, certainly his debut run with us here at these SCCA National Championship runoffs this year. A treat to be back here doing this with you, Randy Popes, but especially a treat to be at this beautiful racetrack for these runoffs.
Yeah,
next year Daytona, but this is very cool.
Now, how much longer we got in this race?
Well, we take a look at the time clock. 23 minutes left on the timing part of the event. We've run 7 laps, so we have 13 to go. Now at these, $1:25 laps, race pace laps, I mean, we certainly should get everything. We should see all 20 laps before the time limit would force the checkered flag here today.
You know what? It's like bowling. The faster you go, the less you get to drive.
This is true.
So these guys, in a way, are really getting shortchanged.
I don't think anybody who's driving one of these cars feels shortchanged after 20 laps. I'm guessing. Somehow I think you probably get your money's worth here.
It's quality.
That's right.
Not quantity.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly so.
Yeah, we could walk the track and we'd have plenty of track time. 2 miles an hour.
We could.
I have. Let me tell you, those hills are steep.
Yeah.
Some of them are so hard.
Climbing the hill. I've walked to the top of the corkscrew and watched up there many, many times over the years. It's a great venue, great place, great view of the action. But you've gotten your walk in for the day when you walked up there.
And I'll tell you what, if you break down or run out of gas on the way up to the corkscrew, if you can just get over that lip, you roll all the way back to the pits.
There you go. You can make it. All right, let's go downstairs, check in with Hayward, see what's going on pit road.
Pit road's pretty quiet right now, guys, but I want to give you a heads up. Sun's starting to get a little bit lower, temperature's starting to drop, breezes coming through, so we may have a little bit change in track condition as this race has been delayed here in the middle.
All right, we will see what happens as the car of Kirk Kinsfader goes out on the hook behind the safety wall. That will clear things up, and we'll be able to return to green flag conditions here shortly.
May not be as bad as it looks either, people. They've just taken the rear bodywork off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like when the Terminator burned off his human skin. That's what you're seeing here on this Speeds chassis, that steel tube frame underneath the carbon fiber bodywork. It's the bodywork is just the shape. It's not the real structure of the car.
Exactly. All right, so the restart lineup will look like this. Chris Farrell will have the restart pole. He has led all the way so far in the 58. It's one of the Suzuki-powered entries, one of the store chassis cars. Jim Davenport's 23. That's the white Norma in second spot with the Honda 2-liter power. He will go from the second spot on the restart. Third is Lee Alexander with the 48, one of the store Suzukis. Gianpaolo Ciancimino will start fourth in the 99 on the restart. That's the Store Suzuki out of Coral Springs, Florida. And Chris Ash in the 67 from Centennial, Colorado, another Suzuki-powered car, but that's a Speeds chassis entry, the 67. Then Jeff Letterman will line up sixth in the 55. John Manfroy will restart seventh in the 18. Eighth on the restart, John Shine, who started in the back of the field, the Store Suzuki. He is in car number 15. Ninth is Dave Tweedley in car number 65. And 10th, Brian Hall in the 69 out of Spring Grove, Illinois. Then you have Gary Peck and Kinsfader. And all cars on the lead lap at this point. So 11 remaining out of the 12 that started. So a good field of cars, very competitive as we head down through the corkscrew, getting set for a restart on lap number 9.
It's not unusual to see a change in the complexion of the race after a long yellow. Also the factor that we're getting later in the day and the weather's changing a little bit that Hayward mentioned, it could add to some mixing up of this field. I doubt we're going to see Farrell not dominate here, but the rest of the field is tightly packed.
Well, if you're Jim Davenport in second spot out of Modesto, California, in that white machine, the 23, you've got to be thinking, okay, can I hold these guys off the rest of the way home? You're not quite to halfway. Farrell, meantime, has had things all his own way in that black 58. Green flag going back in the air on lap number 9 here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. We're back underway.
Farrell came out of the corner flat out, but that's Alexander taking a shot at Davenport, right?
Second spot is in play. Davenport on the outside, able to close to the bottom and cover the position.
Oh, I would have gone four wheels locked right down inside him.
Well, again, I'm taken by the difference in physical size of these race cars. If you're driving that smaller car, do you take that chance?
I'm with you.
If you can't see past the fenders, what do you do?
Yeah, and another big wiggle in the background there for whom I think was Ciancimino. That is a difficult car to drive. Oh, turn 5. Another look down the inside. He doesn't go for it.
Battling for second, Alexander in the 48, trying to get by Davenport
in
the white 23.
He wants him.
Davenport clearly holding up Alexander's car at the moment, but he's making that thing wide, which is perfectly legitimate.
Yep, just staying steady. Staying steady. You got to pass me.
Halfway next time by, your race leader is Farrell. He continues to pull away off the drop of the green. Farrell again having no problems.
They sound great.
They do.
Screaming little engines. 1,400 cc's and 200 horsepower is an amazing power output for size.
And high RPMs creates a sound unlike any other. Here comes Alexander trying to dive bomb.
He's in his mirrors, but he's not through.
Not far enough into the corner to make the pass work. Up the front straightaway they come. He gives up a lot of racetrack there. Davenport able to pull away out of a lot.
Yeah, Ciancimino right on his tail.
Gianpaolo Ciancimino from Florida, 4th place in that 99, the black machine there. Looks like he may have a little running room on the bottom to try to make a move for 3rd.
Yes. But with his unstable handling, if he goes under Lee Alexander, I don't know if that car will hold. Like Days of Thunder, I don't know if it'll hold, Cole. I don't know if it'll hold. Alexander kind of working his way back up to the bumper of the Norma car. Norma's made in France, by the way, of all things.
It is still Alexander trying to track down Davenport for 2nd spot. Race leader continues to be Farrell, pulling away.
Looking strong.
Into the GoPro bridge. GoPro Hero Move of the race in play. We'll have that for you before we leave. Hard Charger of the day. Also up the Sunoco Race Fuels Hard Charger Award. Tire Rack pole, your race leader, Chris Farrell in this category.
The great save of the race thus far is that Ciancimino car, which is rebuilt from a fire earlier in the week.
And then, of course, he had the sideways moment earlier.
Yeah,
early laps of this one.
That's another kind of save.
It is.
Isn't it? That's a driver save.
There you go.
As opposed to a crew save. Lee Alexander back on the tail of the Norma.
Davenport, I think, maybe a little more torque with that Honda motor. Seems to pull him out of 11.
That is exactly right. He sure does. The end of the straight, that Suzuki's starting to wind up and he can catch back up. But there's a little hole there, but just not quite enough to get in there.
Now, Randy, if you were racing in this event, wouldn't you want to stay out of the speedy drive that's on the outside of that racetrack going down into 2 there?
Well,
I wouldn't want to put my right rear in that.
Yeah, but if I was trying to irritate the guy behind me, I might stir some of it up. I don't like when the guy ahead of me does that. But on the other hand, remember these, I think that, let's see, that Lee Alexander car is a Store.
Yeah.
It is far lighter than the Norma. It's smaller and lighter, a good I'm going to say 300 or 400 pounds.
That's a big
As
amount.
a percentage, think about that, versus a 900-pound car.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I think if he went for it, I think he'd make it. Come on, Lee, go for it, man. It'll stick.
Watching the battle for 8th and 9th here. This is John Shine in the 15, Dave Tweedley in the 65, as they fight for position heading up toward the corkscrew.
Couple of stores. Shine kind of overachieving. He's picked up speed over his qualifying. Had no time in 2 of the sessions, so he's been on the comeback trail. Probably was putting that car back together, I would estimate.
Yeah.
And running well. He's on the pace.
Good to see these cars a little deeper in the field, battling nicely for position here out of the corkscrew. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, meantime, we check back in on that fight as your race leader continues to pull away. Pole sitter has been out in front all the way. Chris Farrell out of Utah in that green and black machine.
Yeah,
that's car
he's
number
looking
58.
so good up there. Uh-oh.
One car in some trouble coming off pit road, actually.
Or he spun into the pits.
Maybe.
Is that Cimino, maybe? What number we got there?
That is Gianpaolo Ciancimino, who'd been running in 4th spot.
He must have had a little issue on the way in the corner. Spun it down through the dirt, right onto the old pit exit, right back out.
If you've watched our coverage over the course of the day, you have seen in some of the smaller bore classes a lot of drivers where momentum is key, dropping all the way down and using the pit road exit as part of the racetrack, so you can comfortably get over there. But the 69 in some difficulty on the track. This may well bring out another full course yellow. We shall see. Brian Hall was running 11th in this car.
I mean, it has to.
He is dead stick. That is the Audi of Hoffman Estates in Illinois entry.
Sitting right on the front straightaway up against the wall. They're going to have to pull that car.
And that may be, well, we stay green at the moment. Now he is driver's left there against pit wall. That's not the racing line normally, but we'll see. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen a caution. Local yellow being waved there out of 11, but straightaway, front straightaway here, plenty wide at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Maybe they'll just put some pylons around it and say, okay, hey.
Or some crime scene tape.
Oh, here we go, Alexander.
4-second spot.
Looking inside.
Jim Davenport trying to hold off Lee Alexander. He is still able to do that.
I'll bet Alexander is getting tired of looking at the back of that Norma. He wants to get out in the clean air. I think I saw him wiping his visor. As the sun gets low, that gets worse.
Battling for
that
second
low
spot.
Sun really shows up the dirt on your visor.
Yeah, you've got to make sure you've got your smoked visor on today, or your tape across the top, no question about it.
Yes.
Lee Alexander in 3rd, Factory 48 sponsoring his car. That's his company, and they build a lot of the engines for these sports racing Prototype 1 machines. Race leader, meantime, continues to be Farrell, putting some cars a lap down now. That's lap
Letterman.
traffic behind him, yeah.
Letterman and Gary Peck. Running good in the back of the field there. See, it's tricky to get these motorcycle engines to work in a car that pulls 3 Gs laterally, because a motorcycle leans in a corner. It doesn't have lateral Gs.
Yeah, absolutely. As the battle for second rages, 69 will go out on the hook, down to Hayward.
Yeah, guys, we're doing a hot pull here on the front straightaway with the crew from Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. They've got the 6.9 car hooked up, pulling him away. It looks like we've also had the 16 come into the pit lane during this, so several drivers having mechanical issues here in Prototype 1.
So the 69 going out on the hook on the front straightaway. Brian Hall had been running 11th, and he will not finish today. Meantime, for second spot, Lee Alexander in the 48 taking advantage of the situation, finally nipping by Davenport for second, and look at him start to pull away.
Oh man, I bet you he's got a big smile on his face. He's finally through past the Norma and taking off for the sunset. I don't know if he's going to catch the leader. There's the leader, but you never know.
6 laps to go. He's got time. We'll check the gap last time by. It was only about 4 seconds, so we'll see if Alexander can do anything with the race leader.
Oh, boy, he is just gone.
We talk about drivers holding up other drivers, and it's not improper to do that. It's not. Right. Oh, and the 99, Gianpaolo.
Oh, that tricky setup finally got him.
Who was running 4th.
Yeah.
Off into the tire barrier and off into the loose stuff at one of the runoff areas on the racetrack. So your 4th place driver is done for the day as well. Top 3 really pulling away now. We'll see what the gap is between 1st and 2nd when they cross start finish here.
He was dancing with the devil there for a while, and eventually it paid the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He was doing his best, though, going for it. This is the runoffs, the one race you got. one race championship. You got to go for it.
Alexander is going for it. 3.4 seconds is the gap that time, and he's got time. He's got 5 laps to go to see if he can do anything with Chris Farrell, your race leader.
Farrell going for it all the way to the curb in the dirt. He wasn't off circuit, but there was dirt on the track from guys going off. So
Lee Alexander knocking off the fastest lap of the session that time, a 1:22.8, about 0.6 quicker than what Farrell was able to do. Now, if Farrell's crew is on the radio to him, which we're sure they are, saying, hey, turn it up.
It's heating up.
Turn
it's
it
heating
up.
Here
You don't have this one locked up
Raceway.
yet. Yeah, exactly. So we shall see.
But then when you're going this faster than anyone else has gone in this race, you're even further on the edge. The hotter the intensity.
Sure.
Let's see, that's some 80s
One
song.
small mistake
Highway
can
to
end
the
your day here.
highway to the danger zone. and we could see something happen. I mean, Farrell has turned it up.
All kidding
for sure.
aside, no question about
And
that.
so has Alexander. And it's a war. It's a battle. He's got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But Farrell's not messing around. He is not going to make it easy.
We'll see what the gap is. 4 to go this time by for your 2 leaders. Davenport fading in third. Still 4 seconds, so Farrell turns it back up. Farrell knocks off a 1:22.77. Alexander a 1:23.35 that time by. So the challenge to Chris Farrell, he responds nicely and picks it up by half a second.
Look at the gap from Alexander back to the Norma of Davenport. He was definitely losing time behind that Norma.
Absolutely. 2.5 seconds the gap between second and third already.
And so he's loving being in this clear air, and he's giving the leader something to think about.
No question.
And we can see that in his pace.
Absolutely. Farrell had to dig deep, come up with a little extra speed, but he was able to do it.
Take a little more risk.
Yeah.
Take a little more risk. I can see Alexander sliding it out of turn 2. Looking good up the hill here.
Next, the last race of day 1 of these 2014 SCCA Runoffs, SCCA National Championships. Amateur racing's best in the business on duty here this weekend at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Glad we could be here for you. Hope you're enjoying the coverage today here on scca.com/runoffs. Ibrecht Benjamin, Randy Popes is alongside. Hayward Wagner has our coverage on pit road all the way. Chris Farrell has led flag to flag thus far from the pole, from the tire rack pole here in P1.
10,000 RPM Suzuki motorcycle engine just screaming. Taking a tight line down into turn 2. Alexander similar, just a little wider. You notice these guys with their low ground clearance, they're not dropping wheels the way we see in some of the street car
being very tidy
classes.
with these cars.
Yes,
you don't dare do that. I mean, you could high side a car or break something under the car.
They're
on the
low.
Yeah.
They're low. You can see the drop-offs on the exits of the corner. If they put a wheel in there, they're grinding the bottom of the car. And that could spin them, takes the load off the tires.
The 58 car of Farrell continuing to lead. 4 seconds to the good that time by. He'll see 2 to go next time around. At a $1.22 a lap, they are really making some hay around Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca here.
Yes, they are. Alexander kind of gave him a little wake-up call when he started running real quick, but it doesn't seem to be able to put a dent in that lead anymore.
Alexander was the favorite according to Sports Car coming into this weekend. Won the C Sports Racing Championship last year at Road America and these SCCA National Championship runoffs.
I think they're getting quicker as the fuel load comes down, because Alexander's now the quickest guy in section 2, whole race. So this guy's flying.
No question about it. These are cars that I would imagine, Randy, for a driver, extremely challenging and not very forgiving.
Actually, the downforce makes it easier. The grip is unbelievable. And when they brake, as long as you don't get them sideways. Now, if we start talking about the aero grip and you get that car sideways, the air is not moving under the car through the channels, and boom, you can lose that grip. So you're right about that. The grip feels really great up to a certain angle, and then you lose the tunnels, and boy, you spin, you're just gone.
So you better know where the limits are in these cars.
Yeah, and it's hard to find because it's so high. You just turn and just lean on that car, and most of the corners here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca are banked.
Yeah.
Which just magnifies it.
Sure.
That's part of why you're seeing 3.5 Gs. Like turn 6 here, right at the apex, it has a tremendous amount of banking, but only for a moment. And coming out of the corkscrew, you drop down, but when you go right, you got banking. You go left in 9, can see the bank there, and right here, huge banking, generating tremendous grip.
Race leader continues to be Farrell in the 58. Now, last time around, Alexander was a full second quicker, ran a 1:22.39.
Wow.
Farrell ran a 1:23.31.
Is that
Not
fastest
quite a
lap
full
of the
second.
race,
That
Rick?
appears to be the fastest lap of the race by Alexander.
Wow.
White flag is in the air. He will run out of time, it does appear. He cut the lead down to 3.1 seconds, but not enough laps left for Alexander to challenge. For Farrell, it's just a matter of staying between the white lines for another 2 miles.
Fate and luck.
That
'Cause it
sometimes
ain't
comes into
over.
play.
It ain't over till you drive under that checkered flag first.
Exactly, and Farrell came right back with a very fast lap himself, a 1:22.79, and that put Alexander back 4.1 seconds with 1 to go. And there you see the 48 of Alexander trying hard enough to drop
Using it
a
all.
left rear off.
Using it all.
He is able to drive hard and keep going. There's your race leader. Farrell on his way apparently to a flag-to-flag victory, all 20 laps for Farrell.
2 laps in a row we've seen Farrell come out of turn 5 and swerve to the middle of the track and back over to 6. That's so interesting.
It's an odd line. Certainly, maybe he sees something on the surface there. Maybe there's grit on the surface he wants to avoid.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing you wouldn't want to do, these cars, of course, are on full race tires. You wouldn't want to cut a tire here with a half a lap to go.
No, sir, and it can happen. Anything can happen.
Sure.
We've still got 4 corners to do. The race is not over till you go under the checkered flag.
Farrell
Don't
into
be
the
counting
right-hander,
chickens.
heading toward 11. Chris Farrell has done a great job today out of Salt Lake City, Utah, on that 58 car. The C&M Manufacturing entry, headed up the front straightaway.
Here we go.
Fist in the air, checkered flag waves, and Chris Farrell earns the gold medal in P1 on day 1 of these 2014 SCCA National Championship runoffs. Farrell is your winner.
Great
Lee
job.
Alexander comes across the stripe in second position. And Jim Davenport will grab third and make the podium with his Norma Honda-powered machine in car number 23. He gets credit for third. And Alexander is the GoPro Hero Move of the Race winner for knocking off the fastest lap earlier.
He's going for it.
1:22.39, yes.
He was going for it, Rick. And again, the surprise is qualifying the top 3 cars were only 2.5 tenths of a second apart. And yet we get to race day and there's such a spread. But you know what, there really wasn't such a spread. If Lee Alexander had been able to get ahead of that Norma earlier in the race, he'd have been right on the tail of Chris Farrell.
Yeah.
The Norma must have
It would have
missed
been a
his-
great battle had they been able to fight it out all 20 laps.
Yes, yes.
Because both those cars have speed.
They have the speed. I think Davenport missed the setup a little, or
Yeah.
something was a little off, because it appears that Farrell and Alexander, the other 2 top qualifiers, had a similar pace. And they had a similar pace in qualifying, all 3 of them,
Yeah.
with Chris Farrell being the tire rack pole winner. Yet in the race, that wasn't the case.
Jim
So-
Davenport will be on the podium in the Norma Honda, but yeah, he was just not able to be quite on this. He was about half a second slower, it appeared, most of the race than the race leader.
Someone right there, and Hayward, if you can maybe ask him if something wasn't right in the car, it'd be interesting to hear the comments, because it sure looked like it from up here in the booth.
We will find out from the top 3 finishers once they are on pit road and able to talk to Hayward Wagner, who's got our pit road coverage all weekend long at these 2014 SCCA National Championship runoffs. Good, interesting race in P1, I think, combining CSR and DSR together. Really interesting combination of cars, lightning quick around here. Lightest, fastest race cars of the weekend, running laps in the 120s, low 120s, many 10, 15 seconds faster in some cases here than many of the other categories we're seeing do battle here today. So there's your winner in the 58, Farrell, waving to the crew, waving to the group of fans that are down along pit road in the paddock area. Paddock full here this weekend, of course, of friends and family and competitors and crews. Fans around the course, a lot of campers here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, as is always the case. Great venue.
He drove really well. I didn't see a
National
mistake.
Championships.
Didn't put a wheel wrong.
Absolutely. Farrell with a great job. And Lee Alexander, same thing. Former champion 1 year ago. Comes home in second spot here today. All right, let's talk to our winner downstairs to Hayward.
Chris Farrell, a flag-to-flag victory here in Prototype 1. You've got the hands device helmet on the head look going. Talk a little bit about the drive.
It was, I was worried about Lee Alexander because he's got a lot more power to weight than I do, and got a good start, protected the inside so nobody get by, and then just drove corner to corner, was fast as I could till I got a good gap, and then I saw Lee finally got by Jim, and so then I had to kind of lay down some fast laps because I know he'd be coming hard.
Now, we did have a brief caution period, went to the restart. Did that break your rhythm? Were you able to pick up right where you left off?
No, I was able to pretty much pick up right where I left off, and I would have preferred I had a pretty good lead at that point just to keep cruising, but that definitely made it a little more interesting.
Well, congratulations, a very clean race. Looks like you really had this one under control. A great drive. We're going to send you out for a victory lap. We'll move back to Mr. Alexander and get a word with him. Moving back to our second place finisher. Looked like you were a little held up there for a little while, finally got some clear track, really started putting some laps in, but just kind of didn't have enough time to run down our leader. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. You know, it's a really tricky track to pass on, and you have to really set it up, and a couple of spots where I needed to get the runs, I wasn't getting them, and finally did and had to force the issue down there, but a little too late for first, but I'll take second. Happy with that.
Now, we've been told from the guys in the booth that we think you're going to be getting the GoPro Hero Moment of the race for a lap time. You set the fast time of the race, I think about a half a second margin. Obviously, the car was working pretty well.
Yeah, the car was awesome. I want to thank Jeff Schaefer, James Barwell, Michael Scully. I mean, they've been here all week helping me try to get this car sorted, and the car was awesome. Yeah, I just needed to get aggressive early on, and I waited a little too long, but second's good. I'm fine with that.
Guys in the booth are asking me a little bit about the pass. Can you talk us through what happened there down in turn 2?
Yeah, it was a little sketchy. I got a good run off of turn 11, and we were going up there, and I had a good enough run. I kind of went over into the pit lane exit there, and wasn't sure when I was going to run out of road, but Jim was great. He gave me just enough room to get in there. We didn't touch, and yeah, I'm just glad I made it through there.
Well, that's Lee Alexander, your second place finisher in Prototype 1. We're going to move down to Jim Davenport. Jim bringing home third place in prototypes. We're going to call you first place for regular size prototypes. These mini guys seem to have a little bit of an advantage of you. Talk to me about your race.
You know, yesterday we were really hooked up, and today just wasn't quite the same. You know, we give up a lot of weight penalty to these guys. Hey, Lee. And anyway, we had a solid race, and problem is when we get a double yellow, our tire temps fall way off. I scrubbed them vigorously the whole time, hoping, but they still got softly, got around me, and hung in there as best we could. I'm happy with the podium at this point. First runoffs for me. I'm an old guy, so kind of a dream to just be here and finish the whole thing and end up on the podium.
The guys up in the booth felt like you might have been fighting the car a little bit towards the end. Is that accurate?
It was pushing, and then we tend to get the tires spun on the rims, and so I had a big vibration. I'm sure when we check it, we probably spun the tires about 6 inches on the rim, so it was vibrating and pushing, and just did the best we could at that point.
Well, a fantastic showing for a rookie performance here at the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. A big congratulations to you for the podium.
Great, thank you very much.
Back Jim Davenport,
to you guys
our
up top.
third place finisher. Yeah, to hear him talk about the challenges that he faced with that 23 car, pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, it just goes to show you everything changes. You come to the race and it's the real deal, and just a great performance from our winner, Chris Farrell. And really cool cars. I mean, high tech.
Oh, yeah.
It's very sophisticated chassis and high output engines, screaming little engines, and aerodynamic tunnels, which are not used in many forms of racing.
Not anymore.
But only this top level of SCCA club racing do we see it in a lot of sports racers, and it makes them stick.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, talk to me about Davenport's comment saying he spun the tires on the rims. Beadlock's not allowed in this kind of racing.
Actually, I don't know, but I do know that it means that the wheel is actually turning inside the tire.
Yeah.
And sometimes a team will knurl the inside of the wheel. They rough it up so it'll help stick. And a bead lock or a rim lock helps hold the tire in place, because if it rotates, it can throw the balance off.
Oh, yeah.
And that sounds like that was his problem, which is a result of too much grip, probably.
Yeah.
Actually, is one thing, or also the way that you get the tire on the rim. A lot of times there's a lube used, and you don't want that lube to make the tire slippery.
Certainly not. So interesting challenges that Jim Davenport faced as he is able to bring that 23 car home in third behind Alexander and Chris Farrell. And you heard Lee Alexander say, hey, if I could have gotten clear of Jim earlier, we would have had a great race, because both the 58 and the 48 were on pace, able to run in the 122.5 range.
That's right. It would have been neck and neck the whole way, but you got to be there.
Yeah.
Shows you how important qualifying is.
Yes, qualifying and making your move early as we take a look at the top 10. Fourth to Chris Ash in the 67, fifth to Dave Tweedley in the 65. We had a look at what he was doing. John Shine gets credit for sixth in the 15. Jeff Letterman, seventh in the 55, eighth in the 16, Gary Peck, ninth to Gianpaolo Ciancimino, and we talked about him. He did not finish. He was 6 laps down, 8 finishers out of 12 starters. Ciancimino gets credit for 9th, and then John Manfroy gets credit for 10th. Brian Hall and Kirk Kinsfader. And Kinsfader was a top 5 car early, but had that engine failure apparently at the end of the front straightaway.
Yeah.
Second one of the week.
Oh, tough week for Kirk.
Yeah, and these are not low buck engines. These are
No,
not crate engines that you can go buy for a couple of $1,000s and plug into your late model at home. So interesting fight certainly in P1. Good effort by Chris Farrell. We congratulate Farrell, your winner of the gold medal, the national champion in 2014 at these SCCA National Championship Runoffs. There is plenty more to come on day one of the Runoffs. We'll come right back with more here at Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca. For Randy Pope, Steinberg, Benjamin, Hayward, Wagner on pit road. We'll be right back at Monterey.
The 2014 SCCA National Championship Runoffs are being brought to you in HD by Mazda. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. And by Hankook, driving emotion.
Some people go to enormous lengths in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is also the Mazda way, and why the 2014 Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of 8 safety features and a top safety rating. Because when it comes to safety, you can never go too far. This is the 2014 Mazda 3. What do you drive?
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
Machines and their manufacturers span the planet. This is no spec series. Diversity breeds excellence and brings battle. Ride with the best and test the iconic circuits